All right, please say your name, age.
My name is Kenth Fallen from Albuquerque, Mexico. I'm 31 years old.
Tell us about yourself. What is your background in BMX?
I've been racing for 21, almost 22 years. Started in 1989. One of the local neighbor kids took me to the track, and I think at the time I was playing soccer and baseball, and so I got one look at BMX, quit everything, and that's what I've been doing ever since. I've been a professional for over 10 years now. I won my very first race in 1989. I started racing. Went into the track, one of the neighbor kids showed me BMX and went out and won my first big trophy. From there I was hooked. I don't think I've ever stopped really from there. I've been racing over 21 years. First big race I won was a state championship race, and I won every consecutive one after that as long as I've been amateur. My first big expert national win was in El Paso in 1995. In 1998 in amateur I won the Gold Cup #1 championships. In 2001, I won the ABA Racing Champions, ABA Gold Cup National Championship, ABA Grand Nationals, and then I turned pro after that. My first year as pro, turned AA within 3 months. During that time, I was the #1 single A pro, and from then on, I've been AA for a number of years. Then I turned veteran when I turned 30. And in 2001, my first year as a veteran pro, I won the ABA National #1 Pro Championship, the NBL National #1 Pro Championship, and the USAC National Championship. So I've got over 50 expert national wins and over 50 professional wins, plus numerous pro cruiser races. Been a top 10 pro cruiser racer for the since I started racing that 10 years ago. My biggest accomplishments is last year I kind of had a dream season, won all 3 titles that were up for grabs. I won all, by doing those titles, I also won the NBL Grands and the ABA Grands all in one season, and just kind of on a row, had a bunch of wins in a row, and just never stopped. Had a great time, and that was a good time.
How did it feel the first time you were on the bike? What is your first memory of BMX?
First memory of BMX, I still have that first place trophy. I have all the other stuff I've had. I've got some little cups and motorcycles that I've won and other big prizes, and I still have that little first place trophy. And I think the first thing I thought about was, I play baseball all year and get this little weenie trophy. BMX, first time out, get a nice big trophy. So that's a pretty easy decision after that, and I think that's my biggest memory. And I like the fact that when I get on my bike, I feel more comfortable on the bike than I do walking around.
Do you currently coach anyone, or how many people have you coached?
I've coached hundreds of kids. So we do a bunch of BMX camps from anywhere from 5 years old to older expert riders, and I coach right now about 20 athletes personally, one-on-one, and they're anywhere from teenagers to professional athletes really looking to step up their game and everything else. I've got my master's degree in exercise physiology, and I've got my CSCS, which is Certified Strength and Conditioning Coach. So this training for BMX has been my life for a long time. Probably my most memorable coaching experience will be with my good friend Larry. Larry's been helping me out since I was 11 years old, been working with me. One of the best stories I have about Larry is there's a big jump on the first straightaway that I did not want to jump, so I kept making an excuse that I forgot my helmet that day, and I wouldn't jump it. I'll jump it when I bring my helmet. So Larry called me up and, are you leaving to the track? And yeah, I'm going there right now. So after I left for the track, I went by my house, talked to my mom, got my helmet, showed up with my helmet at the track, gave me the helmet. Alright, it's time to jump it. No more excuses. You got your helmet, go ahead. So, jumped it, and then it probably took me 10 years or so to actually finally beat him at a race. And that was a good highlight as well. But one of the kids I coach, Tomas Fernandez, is now an elite rider, and I've been working with him since he was 5 years old and I was 10 years old. So I kind of showed him around a little bit, and now he's getting ready to beat me.
Can anyone be a BMX rider? Why or why not?
I think anyone can sign up and try and ride around the track, but to actually be a BMX racer and get on the track and not look like a fool, I think that's a big different story. Anyone can get out there and ride around, but if you want to actually race and look like a legitimate, you have to put some work in, and it takes a lot of effort. It takes being on the bike all the time and feeling more comfortable on the bike than you do walking around.
What kind of training would you want to give our maid kid so that she has the confidence to be in a race at the end of 5 weeks?
I think one of the biggest things is getting to the track, getting some jumps, getting the aspect of BMX, feeling what it's like to ride around the track. Also doing sprints, gym work, everything it takes to be a BMX racer. And not only that, everything that goes along with that. Knowing who's in BMX, all the top pros, knowing what the different tracks look like, and I think a lot of the lingo as well. What a manual is, what a jump is, what all the different aspects of BMX. I think one of the best things is getting there to be able to wheelie, to be able to manual, to be able to ride down the street on one wheel without pedaling, without anything else. Not a lot of people can do that, and I think one of the goals will be within every week to get a new parking space. I started out that way. There was a summer when I first started racing, I couldn't wheelie yet. And, at the beginning of the summer, my goal was to get one parking space. So by the end of the summer, I was manualing the entire parking space. So I think that would be a really good homework assignment for her to get going, and I think she could really do it. And it's something that she can practice, and some stuff that I put hours and hours and hours into just trying to learn. And it'll make her better on the bike. And then also the rollers. I don't know if anyone's ever seen rollers. It's got 2 cylinders in the front, 1 in the back. We'll have to get one of those for her, and those are pretty entertaining to try and learn. So start out the doorway, and it's very challenging to learn to ride, and it really increases your pedal efficiency and makes your balance really, really good. So, and then also, of course, I'm going to give her sprints. No one likes doing sprints, but half the track is pedaling, and once you get out in front, it's a lot easier to win when you're already out in front. So she's going to have to do sprints on her own. So that'll be a lot of homework as well. I think with anything, with any sport, with any school, anything like that, you get out what you put in. If you don't put in, don't expect to get anything out. If you go to a race and you know you're not prepared, then when you lose, it shouldn't be any news to you. If you go to a race and you're prepared, there's nothing to be nervous about. If she takes all this time and actually works at it, she's going to get out exactly what she put in. And there's the good thing about BMX is there's no judges, there's no excuses. It's first one on the finish line wins. I think my coaching style is going to dictate what the situation is. If she's being a pain in the butt, then it's going to be drill sergeant. If she's not doing her homework and she's not practicing things and she's not improving, that student is going to be a reflection of the coach. Well, I want my student to have a good reflection of my coaching style and everything else. If she's doing what she's supposed to, she's progressing, she's looking better every single week, and she's ready to race, then I think more of a big brother style, because that's just nurturing and encouraging and things like that. But I'm not very nice when things get down and they're not doing their homework and want to play around.
What would you say to Amber if she slacked off after a week of working with you?
After just 1 week of working, we haven't really accomplished anything. We're just trying to get a feel for BMX, get you educated, and if you're going to give up and slack off of just 1 week, why are you wasting my time? Why are you wasting your time? When you get out here, you can go back to being a sissy cheerleader any day.
What would you say to Amber if she showed up late to a scheduled meeting with you? What would you say to her? What would the consequences be?
We have a scheduled meeting, you show up on time. For every single minute you're late, you're going to do a mud sprint. I know in Oregon, it rains a lot, probably got plenty of mud, we can get out, do 10 minutes late, we do 10 mud sprints. So, if you're 20 minutes late, do 20 mud sprints. So, don't be late, get here on time. We have a scheduled meeting, be here right on time.
What would you say if she wanted to quit? Is quitting acceptable?
Quitting is never acceptable. If you're going to go out there and fail, that's okay. We give 100%, you crash, you take a digger, you hit the gate, that's okay. We're not going to quit.